All right, this video shouldn't take very long either. We're going to do the opposite. Again, you've had a lot of experience with this kind of stuff, and we're only going to get more as the year goes on. We are going to write an absolute value function based off a graph that we're looking at. There's a few restrictions this book puts on us, and I'm going to show you a couple ways to do it. I'm going to do it the way I've taught you before, because most of the time it's going to be that easy. But I'm going to show you how the book teaches, and you may have to do this on a test. So I'd like you to do C when you do your own, the same way I do B. So here we go. Real quick. We are given a graph and absolute value. We write a function including either a vertical stretch or compression or a horizontal stretch or compression. And I'm going to underline that because I just wanted you to see that your tests and quizzes, which are not written by me, are going to have either A or B, not both. That means they're going to make the other value 1. So I'm going to show you how easy this usually is with this. So if I look at this, I'm going to write my H there and my K. 2 and 5 are literally H and K. And we can see that the A is 1. In fact, if I move up, A only went up 1 and it went over, what's the scale here? Looks like the scale is by 2, so it went over 4. So I can actually just look at that graph and say, hey, my vertex is 2 to the right, it's 5 up, and then my next point is 1 up and 4 to the right. So I'll write my H, there's my K. You can kind of see it in there. All right. H, K, A, and B. And let's just go ahead and write this guy. A is in fact 1, but I'm going to show you how they want it done. So we know this, and I'll just write the absolute value. So we're going to say g of x is equal to A is 1. I don't need to write it. So we're going to say 1 over B, and B happens to be 4 in this situation. Look, from 2 to 6 is a measure of 4. We're going to put another parenthesis, x, what do we move 2 to the right? So minus 2. N parenthesis, n the absolute value, and then my K looks to be up 5. So plus 5, and that equation should work out for this. All right. If you ever want to check it, just plug in a point. Let's plug in 6. So when we plug in 6, we should get 6. So 6, right? Minus 2 is 4. 4 times 1/4 is 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. It works out. I'm going to show you how they want it done. So here's how you do it in terms of everything else that they've said. We're gonna talk about H and K. So it looks like I went 1 right, so my H equals 1. I went 6 up to get to that vertex, right? So my K is 6. They're telling us our B is 1, and we have to solve for A. So to solve for A, what you do is you literally write everything but A in there. So we're gonna write our equation but A. So we're gonna say, hey, you know what? A function of x, my output, is equal to A times the absolute value of x minus h plus 6. I have plugged in everything but A, and since B was 1, I didn't have to plug in. All right, now here's the book's method. Here's what the other teachers do. I want you to see it once. They have you pick another known point from the vertex. So we're going to choose, the only point they offer us is 0, 3. And we're going to plug in 0 for my x, 3 for my f of x, and solve for A. So here we go. F of x turns into 3 equals A, absolute value of 0 minus 1 plus 6. Let's keep going with this. 3 equals A times the absolute value, negative 1 plus 6. I subtract 3, subtract 6, and I get negative 3 is equal to, well, the absolute value of negative 1 is 1, so it's just A. And A is negative 3. We can kind of see that, right? The very first time I went 1 left, I went 3 down, and visually that looks like negative 3 as well. So I'm going to go ahead and write this equation. A function of x is equal to negative 3. That's the reflection that made it face upside down originally. We know our b is 1, so I'm just going to say x minus 1, and our k 6 plus 6. I'm going to circle that. So our method over here is just counting on the graph how far you'd vertically stretch, compress. Over here, they give you B and you solve. You write the equation with the H, the K, the B, and then you solve for A by choosing another known point. I would like you to use this method on your own to solve for C. This should be quick notes, right? I'm gonna stop this and post this, and we got one more video after this.